Why did God make us Edomites?
I hate my life.
This is our kingdom, a kingdom of righteousness. Praise the Lord. Praise ye the Lord.
Why did God make us Edomites? God hates us.
The only deliverance the other nations are going to get is deliverance right into slavery. They're going to be our slaves, thus saith the Lord.
Why did God make us Edomites? God hates us. Why? God, why?
Jeremiah 30:16 tells you every last one of the other nations which are non-Israelites are going into captivity. They're going into slavery underneath the Israelites when the Israelites go back into rulership. When is the Israelites going to go back into rulership? When the Lord comes. That's what he's coming to do. He's coming to set up the Israelites in rulership, beginning with King David. And when I say rulership, meaning the planet Earth, we're going to be ruling the planet Earth in righteousness. After he puts down the wicked. Who's the wicked? The Edomites, which are in power right now. Who the Edomites? The so-called white man.
Why did God make us Edomites? God hates us. Why? God, why?
Praise the Lord, for he is greatly to be feared. He removed the wicked and put us righteous in power. To victory and the dawn of a new era.
And when I say rulership, meaning the planet Earth, we're going to be ruling the planet Earth in righteousness. After he puts down the wicked. Who's the wicked? The Edomites, which are in power right now. Who are the Edomites? The so-called white man.
This is our kingdom of righteousness. Praise the Lord Yahweh. Praise ye the Lord.
Beginning with those top banking families, which happen to be so-called white people. We're talking about the Rothschilds, Rockefellers. We're talking about the DuPonts. We're talking about the Gettys, the Oppenheimers, and families like that. Okay, so when Yahushua comes back, he's going to take away their rulership, which they're enjoying right now. That's the long and short of it, of this ministry, man.
Pace, James. I need 200 pounds by sunset.
Yes, sir. I'm on it, master.
Why did God make us Edomites?
I hate my life.
Why did God make us Edomites?
I hate my life.
Praise the Lord, for he is greatly to be feared. He removed the wicked and put us righteous in power.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakapadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, pushing to get up out of him. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Shah. All right. So another, morning news and prophecy. And with this one, what we're going to do now, is we're going to go into the bigger picture, all right, of what we see happening. Okay, because the main talk, has just been about, the SNAP benefits, okay, the HUD, particular government assistance program. Okay, but we understand, all right, that it's bigger, all right, than the theatrics, okay, that we see on TikTok, all right, and then we see, the so-called government shutdown, okay, we understand that there's a bigger picture. It goes way beyond that, okay? So let's get into some prophecies because we'll get to some precepts, and then I have a video which mainly comes from the beloved elder brother, all right, Ariala, out of GMS Dallas camp, all right, GMS, Remnant Saved by 144, so we're gonna get into that video by that brother, by that beloved brother, and there's some videos within it that touch on the bigger picture of what's going on. All right, so we're gonna go into another perspective. All right, dealing with what the elites are doing towards their end game of this new world order. Now, first, let's get this in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 12. Okay, verse 22 says, "Son of man, what is that proverb that you have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth?" Because Lord, gave our forefathers, all right, visions. Okay, He would have angels come and interpret particular things, and our forefathers will have these things scribed down. So when you go into the scriptures, we're breaking down the visions of our forefathers given through the inspiration of Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, and as we expound on these things today, our people, because they don't happen instantaneously, they look at these visions, as these visions have failed, as prophecy has failed, because you look amongst our people, the majority of our people, there's no urgency. Okay, and as you can see, also what's happening now is showing us that our people just rely, their mindset is just on this system taking care of them forever. Esau has, created forever slaves, okay, amongst our people, all right, and our people, they would rather this place continue going, and they just live off the crumbs. Our people are they're content with it. Our people are now content, okay, with living off the crumbs of this current system. Okay, that's one thing that has been shown unto us. All right. Well, our people don't understand that there's prophecy that's going to come, all right, and change, all right, their day to day. Okay, it's going to make a drastic change, okay, to their comforts that they're used to. Verse 23 says, "Tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand and the effect of every vision." See, now Jake is finna live in these prophecies, man. They're not going to be told. It's not going to be prophecy anymore. It's going to be a reality. See, prophecy changes. When prophecy, all right, is in full effect, when prophecy settles in, when it's happening in real time, it's not prophecy anymore. It's a reality. And see, the Lord finna make these prophecies a reality in the earth. Okay? The famine, the civil unrest, the violence, the pestilence. See, the Lord finna make these things, okay, a reality. Okay? So what we're seeing now, all right, is the Lord starting to enforce the effect of these visions. See, it's one thing to just hear about prophecy, and it's a whole another thing to be affected by prophecy. Okay? And this is all an attempt of the devils to try to pull off this new world order. All right? So let's get a couple more precepts. Now, when you go to the book of St. John, chapter 8, verse 12. All right, this is the book of St. John, chapter 8, and verse 12. And it says, St. John 8 and 12 said, "Then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that follows me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life." You see, so we're not in darkness when it comes to what the devil is up to. You see, what we're seeing is way, way bigger than the Democrats. It's way bigger than the Republicans don't like black people. Okay, it's way bigger than that, man. What this devil is up to and what he's doing real time. He's trying to establish a new global governance system. Okay, he's trying to establish a new system of global governance, man. Okay, and what we're seeing happening now in America with the food assistance and all these different, government assistance program, this is just one tier, all right, to a multi-tier plan that this devil has of establishing a new global governance system. Okay, because EBT, see, everybody, is just looking at the people that depend on the government, assistance is just they're going to be the only ones affected by what's happening. No, it's going to be a lot of things affected. Everybody's going to be affected, man. Okay, everyone's going to be affected. Okay, you see, so there's going to be a change in lifestyle for everyone based off what these devils are doing. Okay, so when we understand, all right, because like we follow Yahushua, we see beyond, okay, the surface of, the gimmicks and political theatrics, okay, that they push, on TikTok and social media, okay, in the news. Now, let's go here, and then we'll go to the video. So let's get this in the book of 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. We get it in the NLT. All right, 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. So that Satan would not outsmart us, all right, which Esau represents, okay, the physical, all right. He's the representation of Satan in the earth. He's Edomites, man, because he's powered, by the spiritual demon Satan, to be adverse to righteousness, man. Okay, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes, man. And as the Lord has tasked us, signed us to be watchmen. Okay, well, we begin to pick up on the patterns of this devil, and then understanding the end game, what this devil is trying to get to. Okay, we can better understand his moves. Okay, a lot of people, even these people that think they're woke, they're steps behind. All right, they're steps behind this devil. Okay, and this devil has a lot of people in the trick bag and the snare. Even the fact, the reaction that we're seeing from people, due to rumors of no assistance is coming in November. Okay, well, that's the reaction he wants, so he can bring in his next step into rolling out his NWO. All right, and he knows he's going to have to do this by draconian measures. Okay, so let's get this real quick. So this, once again, here we go. So this is the video, all right, done by the beloved elder brother Ariala out of GMS Dallas camp. All right, I say the channel is Remnant Save 144 by. All right, that's the channel. Subscribe and be edified. Okay, and I'll leave the link for this. This whole video is a good watch. But we're gonna jump around, into some things, and go at this thing from a different angle, because it's not only, I say, food stamp recipients or HUD recipients that's going to be affected, okay, by what we see happening. They're just the first tier, all right. They just going to feel it first, okay, in this transition, okay. Well, eventually it's going to work its way, all right, to everyone, because we all finna be tried. You see, so let's play this.
Purchase, it's coming. I'm going to show you.
How do you think that they're going to survive? What's next theft. They're going to have to start stealing food, which means prices are going to raise, which means they will lock things up, which means we might be in martial law a lot sooner than we thought. Because when they have to start controlling the food centers, the Walmarts, martial law, that's when bread lines and everything will start. Okay. When the food centers are no longer secure, that's when your lockdowns will really begin. And when you take the SNAP benefits away from all these people who already have nowhere else to turn, what do you think is going to be the result of this? These people are going to get into survival mode here soon. Whether they come to the stores and start rioting and ransacking the shelves in the stores, or they start coming to your cupboards, they're going to come looking for food here soon, because that's survival. Guys, this isn't good. This isn't good. And I hope that you guys are having discussions within your community about how to take care of one another. This economy is in the gutter. It's done. And they're going to flip the switch here soon. All right? They're lining up all the dominoes and they're knocking them down. And unless you are a billionaire, you are going to be this. You are going to have a lifestyle change. We are talking about a financial reset, a world currency reset. This isn't done.
In my opinion, I think things are just going to get.
So yeah, man, this is a world currency reset. Everything that we see, from BRICS, okay, operating outside the dollar, okay, that's all going into a global reset because these BRIC nations are all aligned, okay, with these digital currencies, okay, because even though BRICS is supposed to be backed by actual, precious metals, beginning with gold, where the currency itself, okay, is rumored to be digital, okay, because BRICS is nothing but a segue, all right, to this new global currency, okay. So these nations are jumping on board of BRICS. They're jumping on board with this new global currency that's going to be that's not going to be pegged, because the dollar is going to be non-existent. That's why people look at prices. The prices are going up. The dollar is just less valuable. Okay, it's just taking more dollars to buy the same thing because the dollar is becoming less valuable. They're tanking the dollar, but while they're tanking it, they're establishing a new infrastructure. So you have the dollar being intentionally destroyed while they're establishing another infrastructure, okay, that's going to take the place, okay, of this current, all right, money system, which is dominated by the dollar. Okay, so you see these nations, okay, China, Russia, okay, India, okay, these major, world economies, all right, they make this alliance to start operating outside the dollar. Well, that's just a makeshift economy to bridge them to the new world order economy of the CBDC. Okay, so they have something to do business with, do transaction with, as the dollar is being tanked. So from what we're seeing with, the BRICS, Shanghai corporations, and all these different economic deals being done outside the dollar, to government assistance being held up, government shutdowns, and all these things, the job market, they're intentionally crashing the job market, which, hey, we're going to get into that later on. Matter of fact, let's jump into it. All right, because he got this Jake, from New Orleans. All right, he sound like he's from New Orleans, but he on point, but you see, but yeah, we're gonna go into this, all right, and then Jake, he gonna break it down, he gonna put some interesting perspectives out there, all right, about what these devils, okay, are doing, gun, bro, the UBI. That's what he's finna get into, the UBI, All right. So we see everything that we see happening is all based on, okay, the devil segueing into his new world order. Okay. So let's play this.
Businesses, big time. We'll go here.
Out his mouth, we heard him say this. We think we have a strong economy. The economy is pretty strong, but we are seeing pressure on the lower income tier, which is the black and brown tier, and the college student tier when it comes to job. Well, fam, they got more poor people than rich people in the world. So how the hell is the economy strong if the lower portion of the economy is feeling the pressure? You heard him say this verbatim. Me making this up. We heard him say, we put the video up a couple weeks ago. We heard him say this, and now this just came out. The labor market is sliding. Increased consumer worry, meaning people are worried about a job. And guess what, y'all? We seeing big companies do what? Lay people off by the thousands. Okay, watch this. We are seeing the market do what? Run up because of what? The anticipation of what AI is going to do. They ain't even made money off it yet. This is the crazy part. If we go look at the earnings calls from last quarter, ain't nobody said how much money the AI that they buying is bringing in. If we go look at it, look at the last quarter of earnings. Matter of fact, AI came in the game when they start really rewarding companies for AI, 2023. Late 2023, early 2024 was smoking. They went to counting. AI got mentioned 40 times on a call, 30 times on a call, 20 times on a call. And the Patreon 2023, we went to having explosions. Why? The and now we see it speeding up. So watch this, family. Jose sent me something today. Netflix is paying, how much, Jose? 7,000 or 700? 700,000 for anybody who can come in and implement AI to be more productive. This is a streaming company. This is a streaming company. Guess what they're gonna do when they do that? You can go, 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 you can go. You know why? Because AI gonna replace you. Efficiency means I'm gonna pay the bulk of the money up front, and over the next 5 years, when I lay off these 10,000 people, I'm gonna be profitable because I don't got to pay them no more. That's what efficiency is. You gotta understand the words. Efficiency means how can I grow my business efficiently, increase the bottom line, increase the top line while taking off some of that payroll. Mark Zuckerberg ain't paying. That man say, listen, I will spend hundreds of, listen to this is the exact words right here. I will spend hundreds of billions of dollars so that my company is not late to the AI race. I need you to understand something. A man says, I will pay I'm willing to spend. Now listen to me. Meta is a company that has zero debt, which means he's not at risk of going bankrupt. He also has a recurring revenue model that pushes millions of dollars an hour. Let me rephrase that. Hundreds of millions of dollars an hour. So guess what, y'all? That recurring revenue model is for show money. That's why he's building that big old AI facility that in what? Louisiana.
So yeah, so when they start really pushing, which they're already ready to do this. They're already ready to do this.
And what we have to understand, all right, these major companies are putting all their chips on AI. Okay, for the potential. See, like this Jake said, they haven't even started making profit off AI, but you have hundreds of billions, okay, a few $1 trillion that has been poured into this AI race. Okay, and these companies are paying major salaries for anyone that can come in, all right, and make AI more efficient. Basically, these companies are saying, look, if you can make this AI replace, okay, or you can get it to where AI can downsize, okay, my labor costs. They're willing to pay people, $1 million salaries, $500,000 salaries, if they can create systems, okay, that reduces their labor costs, which is reduce, all right, the people needed. Okay, like he said, because once they get to a certain level with this AI and running their corporations, like I said, it's gonna be a major, major layoff, man. And layoffs, you can watch a video every day just dealing with people, being laid off at this company, 6,000 here, 2,500 here. The government, 4,000 from the government. Why? Because they're bringing in this AI, okay, that's going to replace a lot of these jobs, okay? And these companies, they're putting all their chips in the middle of the table, okay, on this AI. All right. Mark Zuckerberg said, look, he would pay hundreds of billions for his company not to be late to the race. Not to win the race, but to participate in the AI race. Okay. And these are individuals that invest in hundreds and billions of dollars. Okay. But you think they don't have the money, the surplus capital, to keep I think the government assistance program probably all together, maybe about 12, $13 billion. And that cover the majority of government assistance programs for the year. All right. So you have people coming out their pocket with hundreds of billions. You got these Edomites coming out their pocket with hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay. Just to invest in AI. But you think they don't have, they can't scavenge a few $1 billion to keep these government assistance programs running. Okay. That ain't what it's about. All right. It's about this new world order, man. Okay. So you have, all right, real quick, let's go here. So let's go here real quick. I just looked it up on the chat. All right, so you go to AI investments. All right, it says, yes, major corporations are investing heavily in artificial intelligence, and the implication for job market are both significant and multifaceted. Here's a breakdown of what's happening, what it means, and what you should keep an eye on. Many of the large companies are treating AI as a strategic priority rather than a side project. All right, it's an AI race. Okay, it's a race to have the most efficient AI. Okay, so it says one source estimates that in 2025, the top U.S. tech firms will invest $320 billion. You see that? One source estimates that in 2025, the top U.S. tech firms will invest over $320 billion in AI infrastructure, service, and applications. Manufacturing firms increase AI investment about 20% year over year, and service firms also ramped up budgets. Around 78% of companies worldwide reported using AI in at least one business function. AI skilled workers, all right, people who are, able to build AI programs, okay. And it says AI skilled workers now see a significant wage premium, average 50%, all right, 56% higher, and productivity gains are much higher in industries heavily exposed to AI. Key drivers for these investments, all right, competitive pressure. If your competitors use AI, you may need to catch up. Productivity gains. Firms believe AI can drive efficiency, cost reductions. And what's the cost reduction? The human labor. Okay, revenue growth. For example, one study found productivity growth in AI exposed industries jumped to 27%, all right, percent versus 9% in those less exposed. Shifting business models. AI allows automation, insight for larger data sets, new product and service offering. All right. So basically we're just seeing, all right, this is the wave. Okay. And see these tech giants, all right, they know what's coming. Okay. So what we're seeing, all right, is a dismantling of this old system. Okay. Because see, and the thing is, there's going to be a major depopulation. Okay, so they want to create chaos in the purge type atmosphere. That's why you see, okay, they pushing people to loot. They pushing people to fight against federal law enforcement. Okay, so they're stirring a pot of chaos because first thing on the agenda is to depopulate. Because even with this UBI ain't for 800 billion people. Okay, they want to knock that number way down. Okay, so the first phase is going to be what? Depopulation. All right, and who do we want to depopulate the most? Man, Jake. Okay, so they have Jake out here walking right into the trap of wilding out about this government assistance, man. Okay, so let's go back to the video. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. I believe it's about right here.
It's imperative now. Right? It's not optional no more. So I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's Chris Sane. I don't care if it's Aristotle. I don't care who it is, bro. I don't care if it's Black Robin Hood. I don't care if it's Tay Sweat. I don't care if it's Terry. I don't care who it is, bro. Go learn how to do something. I don't care if you go to real estate and learn from Terry. I don't care if you learn from like it now. Or they're gonna implement something like this universal basic income.
There we go.
This is what I've been telling Jose about. I said, Jose, I said, you ever heard that before, Jose? He said, nah, bro, I never heard of that. I actually feel like he is testing it out right now. Remember he came on TV the other day and said, yeah, man, we're gonna give people
He's talking about Trump, okay? Talking about Trump.
We're gonna give him a stimulus check from terrorists. Man, let me ask y'all a question, man.
The right is on the wall.
So I ask you a question. When in the hell you seen rich people, wealthy people in America do some shit for poor people out the kindness of their heart? I just want to take a minute to answer that question. And when what American phase did you see them say, you know what, we're just gonna give everybody that's poor from tariff money? We know good and damn well. But you know what we said? Oh yeah, bro, I'm about to get that $2,000. Bro, they setting you up for the
and Jake breaking it down right. He's right. He is absolutely right, man. It's a setup. And you're gonna have to jump through certain parameters to be able to receive that money. And we know what it's gonna lead to.
Yeah, man, and and you can see it now. If they make this announcement that they're gonna start giving, stimulus check based off the money that they save from tariffs. Do you know what type of hero status that's gonna put Trump at? Okay. Because people are going to forget about the inflation. They're going to forget about, okay, the SNAP benefits. Okay, this little hiccup, okay, with the SNAP benefits, and they're just going to be locked into, okay, whatever this devil is saying. Because if this man says, look, we've saved X amount of money off tariffs, we finna cut everybody a check based off the money we saved off tariffs. Okay. And people are going to be absolutely fully bought into, okay, all the rest of the steps. See, they get you to believe in one step at a time. They get you to trust one step at a time. Okay. until you're fully in this system. And that's going to be the C-HIP going in you, this RFID, all right, microchip going inside you. That's the last step. All right, and this is what the devil is working his way to. Okay, so he calls chaos, then he comes and be the hero of the chaos. Okay, and it creates more trust. He calls chaos again, then comes to be the hero of that chaos. You know, so we're going to see this constant, you know, pattern and trend. Okay, and don't be surprised, you know, these devils, because it can go either way with the benefits, you know, the government benefits. The devil can come, you know, the day the 23rd. So next Friday, all right, this devil announced, okay, the government reopened, you know, Thanksgiving is on again. And it's just going to create more trust. You know, it's just going to create more trust into what they want to do. And then they're recording, you know, people's reactions. All right. They're gathering the data, you know, of how people are reacting. That's why they're constantly pushing it on every news media outlet. No benefits in November, no benefits in November. They're testing to see the reaction. Now, if they let it go, you know, if they want to take it to the next phase, to the point where they're ready for people to start looting, okay, well, they're going to leave this thing shut down, okay, and let this ripple effect, all right, take effect, you know, because that means that they're ready to go to another phase with it, you know. So we'll see, you know, we'll monitor these things, but ultimately we know there's a bigger play at hand, okay.
You're gonna have to put that chip in you, bro. If you want to get that, you're gonna have to put that chip up in you. You know? Point blank, period. You know? Straight up. He ain't gonna just help you out. Read this. This is Sirach 12:10. Never trust an enemy. His wickedness is as destructive as rust. Watch out and be on guard against him, even if he acts ever so humble. He is like a metal mirror that rusts away if you don't keep it polished. Seat an enemy at your right hand, and the next thing you know, he'll be trying to get your own place of honor. Put him next to you, and he will overthrow you. Then you will realize the truth of my words and be stung with regret when you remember them. Okay? So yeah, never trust your enemy. He ain't finna just hand out no $2,000 to everybody from no tariff money and there's not an agenda behind it. But we know the agenda.
To kill.
I've been seeing it all over social media. They like, yo.
They don't see it. But you know what he said? Oh yeah, bro, I'm about to get that $2,000. Bro, they setting you up for the kill.
Yeah, you know, Jake, that New Orleans Jake, they got that real aggressive, you know, energy. But Jake on point, Jake sharp, you know. And this, I was listening to this last night, man. I was just thinking, man, it's meant for Jake to run the earth. You know, just how the way Jake built. You know, they come from all these different backgrounds, but you know, they're just particular Jake, man. You know, because he got the accent, but he's sharp. You know, but you know, this remind me of some of the brothers in New Orleans, mainly their brother Kaya. You know, out of the priest Kaya out of the GMS New Orleans camp. You know, he got that aggressive energy. You know,
I've been seeing it all over social media. They like, yo.
They don't see it. So let's just explain to them what the UBI is right quick. Do we got a video on that?
Me say, hey, everyone gets $1,000 a month. You're like, wow, that sounds too good to be true. It is not too good to be true. And this is a renaming of something called universal basic income, a policy that's been with the country since our founding. Thomas Paine was for it. He called it the citizen's dividend. Martin Luther King fought for it in 1967 in his book, Chaos or Community. And it is what he was fighting for every day up to the day he was assassinated in 1968. Milton Friedman and 1,000 economists signed a study saying this would be tremendous for America. And it even passed the U.S. House of Representatives twice in 1971. it came this close to being law. So this is not as radical as you might think. 44% of American jobs will be subject to automation in the next 20 to 30 years, 20 to 30% in the next 10 to 20 years. I mean, think about what that means. The most common jobs in the US economy are administrative and clerical, which includes call center workers, retail and sales, food service and food prep, truck driving and transportation, and manufacturing. Those 5 sectors are going to shrink, and that's half of American jobs. And then you're looking at other white-collar jobs like insurance agents and financial advisors and accountants and bookkeepers, radiologists. Like, a lot of professions are going to get affected by this. And so the way we fund the freedom dividend is we join every other advanced economy in the world and have a value-added tax that then gives the American public a tiny slice of every Amazon sale, every Google search, every Facebook ad, every robot truck mile, and returns it to your pockets. And there is one state that's had a dividend for almost 40 years, where everyone in that state gets between $1,000 and $2,000 a year, no questions asked. You know what state that is? It's Alaska. And Alaska funds it with oil money. And what I'm saying to you is that technology is the oil of the 21st century. And what they're doing for Alaska,
doing it over there in Libya and other different Arabic countries, the monies that they would make from the sales of oil and stuff like that, they would give a dividend back to the people. But this is the same thing that they can do with the profits that AI generates. The profits that AI generates, they can just say, hey, you know, since the company is making or generating profits from AI and not having to spend on labor, what we're going to do is we're just going to give it back to the people as a small dividend. You know, that's how we're gonna do this. You know, and so a lot of this stuff has been done before and is in the works. So. Yep.
And how good is that going to sound to the American people? You know, to make it seem as okay, Amazon is saving this much by using AI. Okay. FedEx is saving this much by using AI. Okay. Google is saving this much by using AI. So what we're going to do is going to start giving, you know, the people dividends. Okay. Which is a cut of the profit. Okay. But to get this, what you think you're going to have to do? But how good is that going to sound? You know, you know, can recoup profits off these major corporations. How good is that going to sound? Okay, he's not going to tell you that, okay, when you put this device in you, okay, that the money that we put on there is programmable. Okay, to where you can spend this much on this much on that. Okay, if you go outside of this radius, the money don't work. Okay, he's not going to tell you that part of the game. All right, he's going to tell you you're getting a share of the profits of Amazon, SpaceX, you see, Tesla. You see, he's going to tell you you're getting a profit. All right, because we save so much money with AI. Okay, how good is that going to sound? You see, remember, he's more crafty, more subtle than any beast of the field, man. Okay, so this devil, if brother can put that, you know, if he can fool, if it were possible, he can fool the very elect. You know, brother can put that up there. You know, yeah, we will get this too real quick. This is the beloved brother with Young Yashala 144. Sirach 14:7 says, and if he do it good, he do it with it unwillingly. Man, Esau doesn't have the mind, all right, to do good towards people. Okay, he doesn't care about the people's well-being. Okay, he doesn't care about, you know, being a humanitarian. Okay, this man is doing, okay, what's needed to be done to fulfill his agenda. All right, so if he can do something, all right, to gain your trust. Okay, if he has to, you know, seem like he's helping you to gain your trust, he'll do it. Okay, but he's not doing good for the sake of doing good. He's not helping for the sake of helping. No, because you go into what a con artist is. What a con artist, okay, well, he gives you the trust. Because con is short for confidence. Okay, so what a con artist does, a con artist to get you to trust. So he'll do right when it comes to little things, but he has a bigger picture, a big play that he's trying to pull. So a con artist will play this role, this character to get you to trust. See, you trust the character. Okay? You don't know the intent of the actual person. You trust the character that he's playing. All right. And Esau has gotten the masses to trust this character that he's playing. Okay. So it says, reading on, it says, Sirach 14:7 says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness, man. At the last he will declare his wickedness, man. So this is what, all right, we're seeing. We're in the last, okay, where this devil is declaring his wickedness, man. And a lot of you people, you're not going to understand his wickedness until that device is in you. Okay, because you're in the dark. You see? You're in the dark. All right. And he's leading you to a digital prison. You see, he leads you to a digital prison. Okay, but he's telling you on the way to the digital prison that this is the best thing ever. Okay, so let's play this a little more.
With oil money, we can do for all Americans with technology money.
Like, we've seen this movie before.
Come on, bro. What I love about the way my guy broke it down was he made it seem like it was like, it ain't that bad.
Right.
There will be a clear sign of the haves and the have-nots. Now, of course, Facebook don't mind giving you a piece of that, and they're giving it. But what happens when your total income now is $30,000 a year? And here's the thing, y'all. For COVID, they already tested it on us. And if you look at it now, bro, you got to think about it, bro. Everything that happened for COVID really could have been. And I said this when it happened. I said, "No, this is a shift right here. This the reset to push us forward. Where we going?" Everybody understood. It was like, "Nah, this is a reset." Guess what, y'all? They already showed us what happens when your income is only the income that the government gives you, bro. It's a clear divide between the haves and the have-nots once this happens. Because now millions of jobs no longer exist. Now everybody trying to wash cars, everybody trying to cut grass, and plumbing.
I was like, that's the last job, really, you think about it.
Construction is it, bro.
Construction.
And it's gonna be a point in time where everybody can't do construction.
Yeah. So as the markets get shrunken down, it's going to force people to be in an extremely high needy position. It's going to get chaotic out here. So as they strip away the government entitled programs, as AI begins to take over the job market, all of these different chaotic things that are coming to the economy are going to lead to what? Right, the universal basic income systems, right, which are going to be accompanied with, digital technologies and biometric technologies in order to keep it safe and secure. So it's coming down the pipe, man.
Yep. So, and this, let's say, live screen was to go into the bigger picture, okay, of what we see happening, way beyond. All right. You're not getting, your hot pocket money, for November, okay? And this devil, he's extremely crafty, how he's rolling this thing out, all right? And that's why when you go here to Matthew 24:24, It's from the brother Kazak Bun Yahweh. It said, "For there shall arise false anointings and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." Okay, and Esau, he's going to present this system as a false savior. You know, of course, there's going to be, there's people that come in this spirit like they the chosen one, they anointed, follow me, I got the way. Okay, there's going to be people, especially in this podcast area that push, presents themselves as a, Messiah type figure. Okay, but then you have this system that Esau is going to roll out as a savior. UBI is going to be a savior. Okay, AI is a savior. And he's going to dress it up so good. Okay, you're going to see, his devil do particular things, and it's going to be like, God damn, it don't get no better. Okay, you see, and they say if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, but it's not possible. Okay, because the elect are in the light, and it's predestined for the elect to have the victory. Okay, over this system, man. All right, so that was the point. Just wanted to touch on that. From that perspective, from that angle. Going into, all right, what we see happening, real time. All right, and understanding that there's a bigger play, at hand. Okay, and we have a hope in something beyond this. You see, when when your belief is only in this system and what it can offer, you're going to be subjugated to this option. Okay, that the devil is going to present. Matter of fact, see, brother got two good precepts to close with. This is 2 Ezra 2:13. The brother Kazak Bun Yahweh. Go and you shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you that they may be shortened, man. Hey, it's time to get out of here, man. Hey, it's time to wrap this up. So we should be in the spirit that, hey, hopefully this devil, goes, just keep this shit shut down. Let this shit get chaotic and go for his movement. Okay, that's the spirit we should be in, man. All right, and he just let this thing collapse, because we know that the closer this devil gets to trying to attempt his new world order, the closer we get to the kingdom. Okay, it said the kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch, and this is what we're doing. We're watching, because all this plays into our favor of a righteous kingdom being set up in the earth, man. Okay. All these things we see is playing into our favor of a righteous kingdom being set up in the earth. All right. Proverbs 29:6 is from the brother Azariah, GMS in the Truth and Lando. It says, many seek the ruler's favor. Proverbs 29:26. It says, many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment coming from the Lord, Yahweh Shemal Shai. So many people, are going to seek this man's favor. Okay. And be deceived, with this C-hip. Okay, as this is, the way. All right. So, just like the serpent deceived Eve, what did it say? Eve saw that it was good to the flesh, it was good to the eye. So the devil, he knows how to create a presentation, as if you are winning. Okay, and this is what this devil is getting ready to do on a massive scale. Okay, so Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified, once again, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.